Hey guys, and welcome back to Anything Goes with Sania and Leah. So today it's episode 33, and we're going to do a little bit of a chat about Christmas. So essentially, like our plans over Christmas, like post Christmas, and just like navigating the Christmas period in general in terms of like how you feel, getting back to normal, body image. Because I feel like a lot of people stress about Christmas a lot when they've got fitness goals. I feel like yeah. Are you the same? Do you feel like a lot of people like stress themselves out quite a lot?
Yeah, because it's one of those days where like it's considered where you essentially just eat what you want, do what you want, not a lot of walking. Like it's all Christmas is based around food and everyone knows it. Like you drink, you eat, and that's scary for a lot of people when I think they like a routine and they love like the monotonous and the eating on plan and stuff. So when it comes to like not being in control, they're worried that they'll get out of control. And I think that's the worry that people have.
Yeah, and I think a lot of people, like I've got a lot of clients at the minute who are just worried about December in general because obviously there's a lot more plans, like people are going out, Christmas parties, and I think it's like a case of people that are worried about losing progress over December or like going backwards as such in terms of like not feeling very good in themselves. Like I've got a lot of clients at the minute that are like stressing a bit about just the month in general.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think it's busier though for everyone, right? And I think that's the thing. It's like everyone is in the same position, everyone's going to be eating and drinking a bit more, and it's absolutely fine. And I think it's just about just keeping up your normal routine around there. I've literally said this to all my clients, like just carry on with your normal routine around your meals out.
Yeah. I think it's harder for people who are probably in like a fat loss phase or know that like they're chasing the numbers on the way the scale weight. And I think you are right. Like this is what I say a lot to my clients too. And I've been waiting to come back from holiday to actually discuss this with them. But it's like one of those things where it's like you have multiple meals a day, one meal or one
Yeah,
day or a few days out of the 30 that we have during the month. Yes, you're probably not going to see the same amount of progression that you potentially would have seen in like a month in November
yeah.
or October, but it's really not. I don't know how to, but for me, it's really not major. It's
Mm,
not major unless you're in like a prep, like you're bodybuilding for. But
yeah.
even so, like generally, like you can have a roast dinner sometimes if your coach allows it. Like most coaches allow it on Christmas Day,
Yeah.
provided you have your meals around it. So it's like it's I think it's understanding the calories in versus calories out kind of aspect.
Yeah, yeah. And I also think as well, like it's such a nice time. Like, look at the positives of it. Like, if you're stressing about eating a tiny bit more, you're missing out on actually putting the emphasis on spending time with your family. There's so many nice things about Christmas and nice events and stuff. And I think it's just remembering, like, if you're on a fitness journey or you're trying to make progress in some way, like it's a long-term thing, and for the sake of a few days, like I think the difference is like being able to stay relatively mindful in terms of like not just eating for the sake of eating throughout the whole of January and like remembering it is literally 3 days. It's not obviously there's going to be more occasions and stuff, but you're not going to be sat absolutely stuffing your face for every single day in December.
This is it. Like this is what that word is what I say to a lot of my clients. A lot of my clients, some of my clients have gone in on a holiday whilst being in like a diet phase, and I say to them, enjoy it. Like
Yeah.
you can, like I'm saying, enjoy it because you can still enjoy it. I was like, just be mindful. Like
Yeah.
just don't be an absolute a-hole about it. Like just think to yourself, do I actually need this? Like
Yeah.
maybe consider you're going to be busy half the time, probably going to do more steps. I'd probably recommend doing cardio. Like this is when you're on holiday, like do maybe cardio a little just to essentially like if it's stressing you out and you're not going to be as active as you'd like to because you're not training, do 30 minutes of cardio just to get your body moving, just to get, just for your mind if that's better for you, do
Yeah.
some if you want to. But like you're probably gonna have 3 meals. Maybe for your first 2 meals, if it's an all inclusive or whatever, just have food that you generally would have, but have maybe
Yeah.
like obviously it's gonna be higher in fat and content, cool, whatever. And then the final meal, have
This is
what's
literally what I
on.
say to
Like
my clients as well.
chill out. Just like have a main, have a dessert. Don't be an absolute asshole and like keep going back from the all in eat buffet. Like
Yeah.
just be mindful. You can enjoy time with or without food. Food is major, But like you can also be cautious. Like Christmas Day, me and Reese will probably have the same breakfast. We'll probably have
Yeah,
eggs and bacon and a bagel. Then
yeah,
during lunch, we'll probably have the Christmas dinner. And then by that point, we're like, I'm stuffed.
yeah.
Let's have a bit of, and by that point, we've probably eaten less calories than we have like
Yeah,
usually would anyway. So it's like one
yeah,
of those things where it's like I'll have chocolates here and there, but then it'll get to like two pieces of chocolate and I'll go, I don't really need you right now. I'm gonna put you
yeah.
back. But I've enjoyed myself.
Yeah, I think that's the difference, isn't it? It's like stick to your normal meals, stick to your normal routine, have the odd meal with your family, or like Christmas Eve. Like I'm gonna be having, we're doing like my mum's doing like a little picky thing from M&S. So it's like, you like your nice cheese and your bread and your ham,
Yeah,
and I'm gonna have that. But I'm still gonna go on my walk on Christmas Eve. I'm still gonna hit my meals in the day as normal,
yeah,
and then I'm just gonna have a meal in the evening. And
yeah.
like with this, I'm the same Christmas. I'll get up, I'll have my breakfast. There's a difference between doing that and sitting and like eating a whole box of celebrations for like 8 days straight.
This is it. This is it. It's like it's picking your times. It's
Yeah,
picking your times, and it's like even if you were to have the whole of Christmas where you don't have any of your meals, that's one day.
yeah,
One day out of the 30, and it's
mhm,
like as long as you aren't silly throughout the other days where let's say you spend 3 days not on plan, not reaching your like goals, or like not going for a walk, and you literally stay in and you pig out, that's when it's not that's when it's very that's when it's like you've kind of taken it a little bit too far and you have basically taken time off in the sense of like you've said fuck it. And it's
yeah,
like that fuck it kind of attitude that you need to like take away from around
yeah,
Christmas. And you need to think, no, I still have a goal to achieve, but I can still balance that goal, and
yes,
I can still slow down the miles per hour on that goal just to have a bit
yeah,
of,
yeah,
like you don't need to go at 0 miles per hour. You just need
yeah,
to like if you're at like 50, just go down to like 30, but
yeah.
still make that progress. It's kind of the same thing. Like you go 50 on the other months, but you're just doing you're just slightly behind.
Yeah, I think a lot of people feel like because they can't, because there's going to be more flexibility, it's like that's it. Like a lot of women, you'll probably find this as well with your girls, but like a lot of women struggle with like being 0 or being 100, and it's like you
Yeah.
can still be like 60% over Christmas. Like you can still get some training, you can still get some steps in, you can still get, probably hit your protein and get your normal meals in like 8 out of 10 times.
Yeah.
Just because there's a bit more flexibility, it doesn't mean you have to like completely disregard everything. You can still like stay ticking over and still have some nice meals out. And I think that's what allows you to feel better and keep a relatively good routine versus just writing off the whole of December because of like 3 days.
Yeah. This is it. And this is what I've had like consults and stuff where like they don't want to start December because of the December month. And it's like, okay, that's fine, but like you're gonna come to me, and like I feel like for me it's like you should want to come with me in December because you should want to understand what you should be doing in December. Like the fact
Yeah,
that you had a consult with me and maybe like you're going to struggle through December. Let me help you manage December because you'll
mhm.
probably find that that's the better start to the year
Yeah,
than just pigging out and then feeling shit on the 1st of Jan.
yeah, literally.
Then that's it. You're like sad and you feel shit and you don't feel comfortable. And that's such for me, I'd hate to feel that way at the start of the new year.
Yeah,
Like I'd rather have gone into that said, you know what, I had a great time. I enjoyed my
yeah,
holidays. I enjoyed Christmas, and I actually managed that pretty well.
yeah.
Now I've got 50% of a routine that now I can better in January.
Literally, that hits nail on the head.
Like people do this whole new year, new me, and it's like you do understand it takes months to build a routine and it takes months to have progress, and you're not going to come to me and you're not going to come to any coach and you're going to be 100% on that schedule. It takes weeks for you to actually
Yeah,
be in some sort of a routine that you're happy with. It's
yeah,
knowing what you can, what you can't, what suits you, what doesn't suit you. And also, it takes time for us as coaches to understand how you are and how you like to be coached and how or what you want from us. Like it takes months building that relationship to then effectively coach them essentially.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. And you can still build that through December as well. And you'll feel so much better in yourself. Like I feel if I just had the month where I was like not training and not walking and just eating shit 24/7, like I don't want to feel like that, you know? I want to train and go on some nice walks. And I think it's quite nice on Christmas, you know, like getting up and going for a nice walk and like, you know, it's nice, I think, keeping
That
that
for
up
me
for
is
Christmas.
Christmas. Like we go to Norfolk, and I'm quite lucky that Reese's mum is pretty much on plan as well. Like she's very similar. She does go like she does do similar to us. Like she'll have a few meals on, and then she'll have like she's a snacky girl. And then Reese is very much the same. We'll have like the first couple of meals the same, and I'm more relaxed. I think I'm definitely more of the I have one or two, but then I will
Yeah.
enjoy myself, and if I want a packet of crisps, I will. I just won't eat myself into the point where I am feeling like an absolute shit piece of
Yeah.
grease,
I
basically.
hate that feeling. You know when you've eaten, I literally think I have like PTSD from when I used to really struggle with binge eating with this. But you know when you've like eaten so much to the point
Feel
where
like
you
a
feel
blob.
like, oh my God, I just think it's the worst feeling ever.
Like you touch your skin, you're like I'm just oil. I'm
But
that
yeah,
fatty, I'm oil.
when
Like
your
you're
belly
that
just feels like,
dirty. It just feels like it's got a whole slather, a whole chunk of a rim around of grease. Just like
yeah, but
vile.
just the feeling of being like really full, you know, and you've eaten too much and you're like, oh my God, I can't move because I might throw up.
Yeah, absolutely. I can't get myself to that point anymore because I know that I've spent enough post shows to know that's not fun.
No,
And I
not at
feel like
all.
that's the difference. Like even though like I enjoy myself and I do have that, I do still follow somewhat of a plan, but then I do maybe pick out more than Reese or whatever.
Yeah,
I still don't eat myself to that point where I'm like I feel shit or I'm not active or I feel full. Like I don't remember the last time I felt full because I just don't eat feeling like I'm about to burst because
no,
it's not nice. Like that's the
no.
one thing that you got to remember as like clients or people as yourself is like, is it actually a good feeling full? No, you feel
Yeah,
lethargic, you feel lazy, you don't then want to walk, you then
yeah.
feel worse the next day because you're absolutely exhausted from eating all the food.
Literally. Yeah. So it's just and like that food's not going to go anywhere, right? It's like you'll probably have this clients as well, but clients being like, oh, I need to eat it all to get rid of it. Like you don't, you can still eat that same food in
Mm.
moderation, like going through the rest of December into January. Like just enjoy a bit of what you fancy. Don't be stupid. Get some meals in, keep training your steps up, and you sound.
Exactly. And I think the post show kind of aspect of Christmas as well is like don't expect any type of like weight fluctuation. Just don't expect anything. Don't expect it to go down, don't expect it to maintain, and don't expect it to go up. Now, I feel like you'd be really naive in the fact where it's like you've eaten this food and you have eaten more calories and done less steps or done less expenditure. Like at the end of the day, calories in versus calories out, right? So I think it's that expectation of like it's probably gonna go up. It
Yeah,
probably
I'd be
is.
very surprised. 90% of people are probably going to see, if you're tracking your
An
weight, are probably going to see a
increase.
bit of a jump over Christmas, but that's okay.
And that's the thing. And it's like, is it going to 100% stay there? No, because you'll go back onto your plan and
Yeah,
things are going to just be back to normal. Like the weight going up isn't necessarily the weight, like you taking any steps back. It's
yeah, yeah,
just, right, cool, you're getting back onto the track now. Cool. Literally, most coaches will go, cool, fine. Unless you've been an absolute bell end and you've gained maybe like 10 kilos or like 8 kilos or whatever, or five, whatever it may be. And it's like, what, how, what have you, like, how have you done that? And
yeah,
you clearly have been a bit of a pig for like a week in a row. Like, that's when they'll go, what did you do? Like, just,
yeah.
I'm impressed. They'll probably go, I'm more
I'm
impressed than
impressed.
I am, like. So, it's like one of those things where I like just don't hold any expectations. And probably what I'll get, like some of my clients don't even weigh themselves at all, but I'll probably just get my clients not to weigh themselves until like middle of Jan, because I'll
Yeah,
go, I bet you at that point you're like now back into a better position than you were before, and it only
yeah,
took a week or two. And it's like it's not the end of the world. Like the scale, as long as you look good, as long as you feel good, as long as you had a good time, as long as you don't feel sick, as long as you're okay and you haven't gained 10 kilos, doesn't matter. The weight
yeah.
does.
I agree. I agree. I think just there's no stress either. Like, it's a nice
I
time.
hardly
Like,
look at the weight on people unless they're in a diet phase and I need to just see if like weight's coming down or if I need to make any changes. But even then, I hardly even look at the weight. I look at all the other variables way more than I do at the weight. So it's like
yeah,
for me, it really doesn't matter. Like as long as your training's going well, as long as you get back to things, and as long as you do things in moderation, and you're always probably gonna look a bit more watery after a holiday, after Christmas, because you have enjoyed food. You're probably just gonna, in your head, even though you probably look the same as what you did like 2 days ago,
yeah,
you're probably gonna think that you look worse because you've not stuck on plan. And the reality is, probably just give yourself a couple of days where you don't look at yourself, you don't weigh yourself, and then just come back when your head feels a bit normal and you've gotten on to plan maybe like 1 or 2 days in a row, because you'll probably find that you're actually the same and you feel better and you'll think, fucking hell, like why did I stress about that?
yeah, 100%. Yeah, I think it's just enjoying it, isn't it? Enjoy your Christmas. Don't eat like an idiot. Think about what you're putting in your mouth,
Exactly.
and you're all good. Keep up some of your normals, like your training and stuff, and yeah, you're literally set.
This is it. Like there's no need to stress. And like if you're planning things every single day throughout December, it's probably going to be tough. So I also would probably say like pick the events that you want to go
Yeah.
to. Pick the
Pick
ones
what you say yes to. That's what I just say to my girls. Like, you don't need to say yes to absolutely everything, and that includes like food as well. Like, just because there's a box of celebrations at work, if you've got a nice meal out plan the next day, like, don't say yes to the celebrations and go and enjoy your meal out instead.
exactly that. Like I like that saying, like pick your yeses, because it's one of those things where like you can enjoy a lot of things in life, but also like there is that element of you've got a goal to achieve, so it depends on like what you want to do, like what means more to you, meals with family, or there's cake in the office room.
Yeah, yeah,
Like
literally.
I know what I would rather, for
Yeah,
sure.
yeah, definitely.
Yes, I think we've covered a lot there for like Christmas. Is there anything else that you think like you'd like to say to anyone about like the Christmas period or like even New Year's and stuff?
I think just focus on getting back to normal in years, because I think a lot of people have this expectation of themselves in years where they're like, oh, day one, new year, new me. And it's like, it doesn't need to be perfect from the new year. Just focus on building back in your good habits again.
Yeah.
Yeah, and just, it's the same as what it was in December. It's not like a fresh start or anything. It's just pick back up. And I always think it helps as well, like after, like, use that time in between Christmas and New Year to just get yourself back to normal, because then you're not like putting this huge expectation of yourself to be like perfect on the 1st of Jan. It's like you've got the week before where you can probably pretty much nail. Yeah, you might have a meal out on New Year's Day or something. I know a lot of people go for dinner and stuff, but you can probably pretty much nail that week after Christmas in terms of like getting back to normal. And some people are off work as well, so it's a really nice time to like just use that time to get your training in, and go on some nice walks and maybe do a bit of like meal planning and prepping and stuff. So use that time before the new year to like get yourself set up.
Yeah, exactly. And also like remember like small habit changes are far more effective long term than changing your whole life. Like I feel
Yeah,
like that's where people like go wrong, is like they try to change
yeah,
everything in their whole life, try to eat on plan 100%, try to train every single day, cardio every single day.
yeah,
Steps like, and you do all that at once, your body's going to tell you to fuck off. So maybe just think in the new year, instead of new year, new me, just think one step at a time. This
yeah,
week, I'm going to do more steps. Next week, I'm going to be better on my food. The week after, I'm going to do a little bit more cardio. The week after
yeah,
that, I'm actually going to train consistently now.
yeah,
So, like
yeah,
things like that, that's how you build long-term goals. Is not overwhelming yourself and not over-consuming your expectations. Because I promise you, you're not going to achieve those expectations because you're just going to burn out. You're going to find it boring. You're going to find that it's shit because you've done too much too quickly, and you're going to hate it. And that's why we all love March, because everyone fucks off by the time it's March, because they've burnt themselves out at that point. They've had like a month or two, like in that whole spell of like, I've got motivation. They go, this ain't the life for me. I'm done.
yeah,
It's coming up to summer soon, and I'm done.
yeah, yeah. You
But
just got to be realistic with it as well, and remember that nothing changes in like a week. You have to just stick with it.
exactly that. But if you do have any questions about Christmas or post Christmas or New Year's or whatever, obviously me and Leah,
Yeah, and myself.
me and myself, me, myself, and I, we can obviously potentially assist you, give you any answers to any questions you may have, and stuff like that. So thank you guys.
Yeah, this has been fun. and I'm excited for Christmas. I can't wait.
And enjoy it, guys. Just don't be a bellend.
Basically, life advice. Don't be a
Enjoy
bellend.
it, but don't be a bellend. Right, have a lovely rest of your day, guys, and we will see you for the next one
In the new year.
in the new year.